Hey, how's it going guys? Jack and Matt here with the Toasty Bros, and today we're doing a $1,300 gaming PC sponsored by LEXAR, and we're gonna be giving it away US only.
LEXAR was nice enough to sponsor a PC build for us to showcase their SSD and RAM, and also allow us to give away this PC to you guys. If you want to enter the giveaway, link in the description down below. Click that link, enter the giveaway. It is US only because shipping costs are really expensive, so US only for this giveaway. But big thanks again to LEXAR for sponsoring this video. They make awesome SSDs like their NM620 and their Hades RGB memory, which we will be showcasing here in this PC build. They're great for high-end builds, budget builds, or mid-range builds. Whatever you're building, definitely consider LEXAR for your next gaming PC. Let's just not waste any more time and talk about each individual part and how it makes up this PC build.
So for the processor, we have the i5-11400. This is a 6-core 12-thread processor, and it's not 12th gen, but these are pretty cheap. They're a lot cheaper than 12th gen. You gotta remember you can get a normal B560 board for them, meaning you're saving a lot of money not having to get a B660 or a Z690 that's gonna cost you a fortune. And speaking of that i5, we have something beautiful here to cool it. This is the VETROO V5 CPU air cooler, which actually uses an RGB 3-pin, which is nice. So you can hook it up to all of your other RGB stuff, and it's cheap. You're looking around $29 to $35 for this. It's a lot cheaper than, like, you know, one of the nicer 212s. A little bit smaller in size, but it seems to perform around the same. And for the motherboard, we have this ASUS TUF Gaming B560M Plus Wi-Fi. So you got Wi-Fi, you got Bluetooth, you have all the USB connectivity you want. The Plus boards typically have USB-C on them, which you can see right there. We got USB 3, all the RAM, all the extension accessories we could ever want so that we can upgrade in the future. And now here from LEXAR, we have this beautiful Hades RAM, and this stuff just looks absolutely amazing. On top of that, it performs amazing. We got 3600 megahertz, and it's a really good latency and everything. It looks super clean. I mean, what more could you really ask for? Dual channel, 32 gigs. And now for storage, we have this LEXAR NM620. This is a 1TB NVMe Gen 3 SSD, and look at those read and write speeds. We got some pretty high speeds there, not too far off from Gen 4, so thanks again to LEXAR for sending this over as well.
Now for the graphics card, we have the good old GIGABYTE RX 6600 XT. The 6600 and 6600 XT from AMD are becoming one of our favorite cards to purchase right now that are new, because you can get them pretty easily from Newegg through shuffles or just through combos that they sell. So definitely consider picking up this card, and it's great for 1080p high refresh rate and even 1440p gaming if you want to. Now for the power supply, we have the good old EVGA 500BA, 500 watts, 80 plus bronze. This is a reliable power supply we use numerous times here on the channel. We've had no issues thus far, and it comes with black cables, so you don't have those nasty ketchup mustard cables that come from cheaper power supplies. And yeah, it'll work great to power this build. And now in terms of the case and RGB, we have some RGB fans right here. This is a 3-pack of VETROO RGB fans, which we'll be adding to the front right here. And then we have this, which is the MONTECH Air 100 LITE, which is basically the Air 100 ARGB, but without all the RGB functionality. So all you have is 2 fans pre-installed, but you have the mesh front that this Air 100, well, you know, the name is Air, so you know, airflow. That the Air 100 has to offer, and it's going to look really nice with those RGB fans installed up front and that RGB cooler that's going to all sync up and look absolutely great. So yeah, let's just not waste any more time and build this PC.
Alright guys, now that we have this LEXAR PC all booted up and ready to go, let's talk about a couple benchmarks real quick. Now we decided to this PC in a couple of titles, those being Apex Legends, Halo Infinite, Warzone, and Forza Horizon 5. First up in Apex Legends at 1080p on high settings, we ended up averaging 144 plus FPS, most of the time close to 200 FPS. The combination of the 6600 XT and i5-11400 is going to crush any esports title you throw at it, like Apex Legends. Fortnite, for those asking, yes, will definitely run very well on the setup, and because of that i5-11400, which we'll talk more about here in a second, and paired with that LEXAR memory that was easily able to lock in at 3600 MHz, we were getting a very smooth gaming experience that's perfect for some high refresh rate gameplay. Next up in Halo Infinite on high settings at 1080p, we ended up averaging 100 plus FPS. I was expecting a little bit worse results than this. It did dip down to 90 a few times, but getting 100 plus FPS on a new AAA title like Halo Infinite on high settings is pretty impressive, and it just goes to show that the 6600 XT can do more than 1080p. You can most certainly play 1440p games on medium settings and get some really good results, so definitely consider picking up a nice 1440p monitor when you are building this PC. Next up in Warzone on medium settings at 1080p, once again we see the 100 plus FPS continue here. Of course you can crank the settings up to high if you prefer better visual quality, but the default settings were medium and we were getting a pretty solid 100 plus FPS, perfect for high refresh rate, and the pairing of that i5-11400 and 6600 XT just make a whole lot of sense. Yes, you could go 12th gen if you really wanted to get a upgrade path in the future, but you will be spending more money, and also you will have to sacrifice for a DDR4 board. 10th and 11th gen is still the sweet spot in my opinion, and why we're going to continue to do builds with them as long as they're available on the main retailers like Amazon, Newegg, and places like that. When they start becoming hard to get, we probably won't use them as much, but the fact that you can get B460, B560 boards and pick up an i5 10th or 11th gen and pretty much any GPU throw at it would be perfectly fine with that. We're definitely going to keep recommending that as the best value option to get into PC gaming, especially with how expensive GPUs are right now. And the last game we decided to test was Forza Horizon 5 on the high preset using the built-in benchmark, and we averaged 123 FPS. Once again, this build is great for pretty much any game you throw at it. 100 plus FPS 1080p, stretch into 1440p on medium-ish settings, and you'll definitely get a 60 plus FPS experience. Once again, thanks to LEXAR as well for sponsoring this build. That NM620 SSD was able to load these games up super fast, and that Hades RGB memory looks so beautiful inside this RGB build, and it also worked really well with XMP. That is really what you want to see with memory nowadays to make sure you're getting the most FPS possible. So now we finished the benchmarking section of today's video. How to bring Jackson back in here to wrap this video up real quick.
Alright guys, so if you liked that performance and you're kind of thinking, man, I wish I could get a PC like this, well, just like we said in the beginning of this video, just check the link in the description down below and you could win this PC.
Special thanks again to LEXAR for making this PC build and giveaway possible. The RAM and SSD worked beautifully in this setup. They got 32 gig kits and 60 gig kits if you want to spend a little bit less money, and it worked really well out of the gate with XMP, getting that 3600 MHz with that i5-11400, and as you saw from the frame rates, performed very well. So once again, if you want to buy in this up today's video, link description down below, the affiliate links that will help us out, and be sure to enter that giveaway if you're in the US to win this beautiful computer.
So as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, check out our other two YouTube channels, and also our twitch.tv/toastybros, and do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace out. And hey, this PC can only go to one lucky winner, and on top of that, you gotta wait for the giveaway to happen. So if you want one right freaking now, we got the place for you.
PCBros.tech is where we sell gaming PCs at a wide range of prices, and yeah, we also sell laptops too. So if you want that, take a look at our website, PCBros.tech. See you guys later. Goodbye.
Peace out.